Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about Power Rangers Dino Fury episode. Is it 20 or 21? Anyway, I think it's 21. Um, Void Trap. So we're here finally at the finale, and I have no idea what episode 20 is even about because the dude didn't upload it to YouTube. But yeah, I gotta say this was a pretty good finale. Some things in here surprised the mess out of me, but surprised me in a good way. I was not expecting to see that, and I'm just kind of like, this season has been kind of like hit and miss for me. It's been like a step back, and this finale, even though it wasn't as great as like some of the past finales and stuff, it was still on a boss level like goodness and stuff. This is just the first season finale. This is the second season. I hate since Nickelodeon they do this whole 2 season thing. Just combine it, man, or just say this is the mid-season finale or something. A lot of shows do that nowadays. Like I hate because they keep trying to like say, oh, because hey, the number of seasons in Power Rangers isn't as big as you think. Because it's just because they keep since Nickelodeon they've been doing this whole like supercharged or super season mess, and so like they say it's the second season, but there's not that many seasons. It just like cut the Nickelodeon ones in half, and you get like a good estimate number there. But back to this finale. It is really, really cool and really good. Like at first, in the first couple like minutes, I was like, okay, this is kind of boring. Where is it going? But then towards the middle, it started kicking up, and then towards the end, it really kicked up. So I'm very happy with this. And they did something in here that I've been wanting to see for a long time. Two things actually, and they did it. Like, man, yeah, it's like you guys, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all wait to the end to spoil like some goodness for us and everything. But it was well like deserved and waited for and stuff like that. And now I know what Tessa was I think her name Tessa Raw, I think. Now I know what she was talking about when she said what her favorite episode is towards the end. If it's not the kiss, like what is it, wires crossed, if it's not the kiss, then it's what happens towards the end in this episode that she got to do. I'm telling you, man, they went all out for her, man. She is truly Power Ranger history in the making on so many different levels. Like they made sure they was gonna do her right, and not only do her right, but do female empowerment right. You know what I'm saying? Because like this one thing like, in modern television, there's been a lot of female empowerment lately. Some has been really good. Some has been kind of like forced, and like people have been like it has divided people left and right. Like there's a toxic fan base, and like there are people who support it and everything. And it's kind of like I'm all for women empowerment. I've been down with that since like the 90s, man. Like I used to watch Xena and Dark Angel. I watched Legend of the Seeker. I watched Queen of Swords. God, what else? Another female thing. It was Star Trek Voyager with the first female televised captain. Cleopatra 2525. VIP. The woman from Team Knight Rider. Like the list just goes on and on. You know what I'm saying? So I love it, but I only love it when it's done right. And when it's done wrong, then it's just kind of like, when it's done wrong, I don't like things forced. And when it's done wrong, then of course that other fan base, the toxic one, is gonna complain. I don't want to hear them complain and everything and stuff. But yeah, it's just like when it's done right, and I feel like it's done right because they're Power Rangers. They're supposed to be tough, and the Pink and Green Ranger did some things in here that you rarely see a pink ranger do, like, period and stuff, or a female ranger and stuff. That's like a really rarity, and I'm so glad they did that and stuff, because it's not always about the boys. The girls are on the team too. So let's get down to this finale. So the Rangers have discovered that Void Knight has been using some of Ollie's mom's tech. Because she's all about them dinosaurs, and she's like finding out things about the morphin grid. I gotta say, since Hasbro has taken over, they're really focusing on the morphin grid and what it is and what it can do. This is kind of cool because a lot of fans have been wondering since the beginning of time what exactly the morphing grid is. We actually got a glimpse of it in Operation Overdrive. I did not like it. I don't like how mechanical it looked, and how Alpha was able to go inside and fix it, like fixing like a TV or something like that. That was just kind of weird. So I hope they retcon that and everything. Also, I'm also a little worried because if it's done wrong, then it's gonna like just feel like, ugh, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm hoping they really do a good job in explaining this whole morphing grid thing. Because the only real tidbit we ever got was in like season two, of Power Rangers, when Laura Zed said that the morphing grid has a balance between him and Zordon, between the whole good and evil thing, and they keep it in check. So that's when people really assumed Laura Zed was like the main super uber bad guy of the universe. But then we found out he's not. It was actually the other dude and stuff, and of course Zed died, and turned back to human, and then Zordon died, and so the whole morphing grid has been just kind of like not brought up since then, but then it got brought back up like in Operation Overdrive, and then of course now they've been tapping, like Dr. K tapped into an RPM and didn't know what it was, and then of course in Beast Morphers that dude really tapped into it and stuff, and so like I just hope it's done right and not just keep bringing it up for like nostalgia and stuff. So they know Void Knight is up to something and he needs the morphing grid for it. And they're all like, that's a huge amount of energy. And so what could he use this for? And what does he need Ollie's mom's tech? Let me get into Ollie's mom for a second. I like this actress. I don't know who she is, but I like her. Um, I looked up just now and man, she is gorgeous. And she was on Dancing with the Stars, the New Zealand version, because she's from New Zealand. And actually, she is the third actress on Power Rangers to be on Dancing with the Stars. The very first one was the principal in Dino Thunder, and she's the second. And the third is actually Void Knight's girlfriend. Yeah, so that's kind of cool and everything. Speaking of Ollie's mom, I'm confused by their race. Is Ollie adopted or something like that? Like I said, I have missed a couple of episodes. I'm not really sure. Is that his biological mom? Because Ollie looks Asian to me. I'm pretty sure he is Asian. And his mom does not look Asian whatsoever. She could be mixed. Then this is one part that pissed me off. It's Javier. He says something that is very childish and stupid. And so, like, okay, they talking about why does Void Knight need the morphing grid? It's a lot of energy, right? And he's all like, well, I think he said like summer's coming up, and maybe he needs it for his AC unit. Do you see what I'm talking about when I said this is now geared for kids and stuff? See, this is why people make fun of Power Rangers. This is exactly why people talking about Power Rangers is for kids and it's a kids show, and it's like, no. If you actually watch the later Fox Kids season and the Disney season, you will see how mature this is. I will still say this to the day I'm old and crusty, that Power Rangers is on the same level as X-Men, Justice League, and Avengers. The only difference is they have a bigger budget and they have more dramatic writers. If Power Rangers were to have cause they have drama in the show, but their drama is more like self-oriented, family-based drama. And then of course they have to save the whole world or universe. So that's where that drama comes in from there. So it's kind of like, if they were to have more hard hitting drama, then it would be on the level, say like the MCU or X-Men and stuff like that, comic book level type stuff. But the Power Ranger fandom is huge. It's not as big as Star Trek and Star Wars, but it's big, all right? It's big. And I hate that they wrote that stupid line, because then all the people who don't like Power Rangers gonna be like, ha ha ha, see, I told you it's for kids and everything. And then they start making fun of adults for liking the show. Because honest God, man, like Power Rangers fans, like when people non-Power Ranger fans hear that people like adults still watch Power Rangers in their like 30s and 40s and stuff, they make fun of them. You know what I'm saying? But they don't make fun of people who watch Justice League or like Avengers and stuff. But it's literally the same thing. It's a bunch of colorful costume people fighting bad guys, some jokes here and there, some drama here and there, some butt kicking here and there, and it's the same exact thing. Like seriously. So they know Boyd's not gonna want some more tech, and so the Gold Ranger and the Red Ranger, they're kind of like, maybe we can set him up. Maybe we can like use Ollie's mom as bait. Then when he gets the device, we sabotage it so he can't use it, and then we rescue her so she won't be in any danger. Ollie is not having this. And rightfully so. Like, I'm glad to see him step up like that. Because I think I remember, like, I remember when I first used to start watching this show, he was kind of like the grumpier one, you know what I'm saying? So I was happy to see him do that, and I was happy to see him give a little bite to his acting. Because for the most part, when this dude says his line, they're kind of like blah, you know what I'm saying? He needs some more oomph to his like voice and stuff, and it's almost like he's a little shy or nervous. So I just want him to have some more oomph, you know what I'm saying, to his like his acting. So it was nice. He's great facial rise, but sometimes it's just his voice. It's almost like he's afraid to open his mouth and talk sometimes. So I just need a little bit more oomph to sell it, you know what I'm saying? But it was nice to see him be like, you ain't gonna put my mama in danger and stuff. But then the Red Ranger, don't worry, man. We'll like make sure nothing happens to her and stuff like that. I gotta say, I've never seen a Red Ranger literally put somebody's life in danger with like live bait. Like I've never seen that before. And it's something else I've never seen the Red Ranger do in this season finale that really surprised me. So, like, you know, they talk to Ollie's mom, Morph, and they bring her back to the command center type place. And she's very fascinated by Sauron and stuff. The little dinosaur cyborg lady. And so she agrees to be live bait. And you can see the dismay. That's one cool thing about Power Ranger acting, man. These people, well, it's just the stunt people. These people can act really good with just a helmet on their face. You can't see their eyes, you can't see their mouth, you can't see their facial expression, but they convey it in the way they move and tilt their heads. And if they can do that with a helmet on, then there is no excuse for a person doing live acting and having their acting be bad. So if they can do that with a helmet on, then you can practice your stuff in a mirror and get some really good like acting chops and a good performance out of it. And so she's out in the open with her tech, and you know the Rangers are looking from afar. They're looking from afar unmorphed. How they supposed to rescue her, you know, and stuff if they don't have their powers? Like how are they supposed to do that? Because if they come in with their civilian clothes, she's kind of gonna know something's up. So it would be nice if they would be a morph. That would have made a whole lot more sense. But I digress. So anyway, Void Knight and them come in, and a bunch of monsters come in, and they're like, okay, they put in like a vortex, and Ollie's like, he's pissed. Ollie's all like, I told you this was gonna happen, and he gives it to Zato and everything. Zato's like, oh, don't worry, man. Like, y'all fight the monsters. I'll save your mom and everything. Now, if I was writing this, I would have had Ollie save his mom and then stuff like that. That would have made more of a connection. But, you know, whatever. But, you know, Zato made a mistake, so then he's like, he has to correct it. So, it was good that he did it. Like I said, man, sometimes I'm starting to wonder about him as a leader. Like, seriously. And before they morphed, they did something that took me by surprise. They flipped. That's right. They flipped high in the air. Now I know what you're saying if you're a young person watching this video. What does that have to do with anything? Why is that so important? Well, young people, let me tell you here right now that back in the good old days, the Power Rangers and the Fox Kids era, we used to have flipping. And not only did we have flipping, but it was high in the air. And it's not like running on the ground and doing a couple of backflips. Oh no, it's when the Rangers are like the camera is positioned in the sky, and you see them flip over the camera, and it is amazing to watch. They would do it in their regular clothes. They would do it in their Power Ranger clothes. They even did it in the Disney era, and I haven't seen that since the Disney era. And that's nostalgia done right. Bringing in past Rangers and not having them do anything with a lame story is lame. Bringing in old villains, changing the way they look, changing their voice is wrong. But this is a nice nod. It's nice, it's subtle, it's not that big of a deal, but it's a big deal because there's meaning behind it. It's legacy. And that's nostalgia done right. So they morph. And they're opening up a can because it's honey whooping time now. And I gotta say, this was a nice fight. A really nice, great fight. A morph fight. The way they executed their powers and the CGI was awesome. The Pink Ranger in the Sentai stepped up her game. And when the Rangers decide, they're gonna give her their energy so she can blast them even harder, she just she hit him with it. But she did it in a dainty kind of way, cause her foot kind of like raised up in that dainty girl kind of way. They always make the girls dainty over there, man. Like, I don't get it. And so that was it was a really cool fight. I love the CGI, and I mean they have really stepped up their game in the Sentai when it comes to the CGI and stuff. So like Zato, he's like in the Megazord, and he's in the Vortex Void, and he's looking for Ollie's mom, and he sees the monster, so he beats up on the monster, but he doesn't kill it. He just leaves the monster alive for some reason, and then he goes to rescue Ollie's mom. Okay, this CGI part was not great. Like them floating just looked weird. The background looked weird. It just felt, you could tell that they was running out of money. And then so he leaves the vortex, and the monster's like, hey man, what about me? He's like, bye. so then the Rangers get kidnapped by a Void Knight, and just one of the lamest ways. I'm like, dudes, come on now. And stuff. So he's gonna use their energy, of course, to wake up his sleeping beauty and everything. Man, the actress who plays his girlfriend is very lovely, man. Like seriously, like you just can't help but to just notice and just be in awe when you look at her. And you know what that reminds me of? Those two, Batman the animated series, Mr. Freeze and Nora Freeze, when Bruce Timm decided to change the origins of Mr. Freeze from just being a bank robber type dude and wanting crystals from the comic book, and made his story tragic and his backstory tragic. And that's what they did here. And they even have his girlfriend in a tube in a comatose state, just like Nora Freeze. That's really interesting. So Void Knight is going to use the Ranger energy from the Morphin Grid to revive his girlfriend. I gotta say, even though Void Knight is a villain and he's evil, the dude actions are actually pretty noble. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's very rare in Power Rangers. Normally a villain is all about taking over the world. But this dude actually has a true goal. He wants to rescue his girlfriend. He'll do it by any means possible. That's why he's doing all this bad stuff. And it's very shocking. It kind of reminds me a little of, I can't even think of his name, because the villain from Time Force, Rancic, that's it. Now, Rancic was evil, but we found out why he is evil. And it's because, society treats people terrible if you're not perfect in the year 3000. And he is such a thing because he is literally the bad waste, the bad, DNA of all humans. So that's why he's bad, and then he gets ridiculed by the way he looks and stuff like that. And then there's Phlox. Like, his backstory was just even more tragic and stuff. And so it kind of reminds me a little bit of that. So Zato and Ollie, along with Ollie's mom, they come up with a plan on how they're going to stop the device and everything. Because they can't have them drain the energy. Well, the Red Ranger ends up getting kidnapped because I don't understand this Red Ranger. Is he any good? Like, this has been, I missed, I should have missed about 8 episodes, I think. And even in the episodes I did see, he's not that impressive, to tell you the truth. And it's just like, is he any good? Like, is he? Like, I don't know. And it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. So he's getting drained. They're getting drained. And so, like, before he got captured, he was telling Ollie, like, this is too much energy and this and this and that and that. I thought Ollie was supposed to be the tech person. So why is Zato the one who's analyzing and figuring things out? I don't know. Anyway, so Ollie and his mom, they come up with a plan. The mom did something I was not expecting. She decides to get her hands dirty. Instead of just running away, she's going to distract Void Knight so that Ollie can come in and, like, blow up the machine. I gotta say, I do like the banter between, like, him and his mom. Like, him mistakenly talking about calling her mommy and talking about he loves her, and then trying to like play it off and everything. That was cute, and they really that was nice. Like, that's really cool and stuff. And so, yeah, his mom picks up a big old stick and smacks Void Knight with it. But then Void Knight, like, knocks her to the ground. And then she picks up the Red Ranger's dagger thing and she throws it at the machine. And then she signals Ollie to come in. He comes in at super speed and he's just, like, messing up the machine and everything. And when he messes up the machine, Void Knight is trying to, like, fix it, but he's not able to. Now, the machine isn't destroyed, it's just damaged. And then when he frees the other Rangers, he sees that they demorph, and then he's like, oh crap, dude. And then he demorphs in front of his mom, and his mom's like, what, you're a Power Ranger? And I'm just kind of like, I kind of wish she didn't find out, only because, secret identities and all. And not only that, but like, with him making a mistake and calling her mom, talking about he loves her, that would have been great for the next season, for her to try to put the pieces together, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, they demorphed and everything. And then something happened that took me by surprise, that made me happy and made me love this episode even more. It happened. In my opinion, it finally happened because I missed a couple episodes, because I haven't seen this in other episodes, except for the first episode. But it happens. They have an unmorphed fight. And it was glorious. Okay? When they flipped in the air, that was cool. And when they flipped in the air, I'm just like, well, hold up, that can't be the stunt people. Because some of these people's hair look exactly the way that the Star's hair look. Like, take Ion's hair. His hair is specific. When dude flipped in the air, it did not look like a wig. And we've seen some bad wigs in Power Rangers. I've seen some bad wigs in the Disney and the Fox Kids era, mainly in the Disney and Ninja Storm, when the two Thunder Rangers were doing their things and they was fighting Morph, and it was clearly stunt doubles and they were wearing a bad wig and stuff. But yeah, I'm thinking they might have actually hooked them kids up and made them flip. So I could not believe they had an unmorph fight, because they still have a little bit of their power left. Because somehow they're still able to call on their swords and everything, their sabers or whatever. And it was a butt whooping waiting to come for Void Knight. I was shocked and amazed that the Red Ranger took a seat back this time. Oh yes. Normally in Power Rangers, the leader is the one doing the major butt whooping. And the leader is the one to destroy the major, like, villain or their device or something like that. This dude took a seat back and he just fought the henchman. I was shocked when I saw who took the reins in the fight. It was the Pink Ranger whooping on Void Knight. Yes, Amelia was getting herself some good licks on Void Knight. And I was shocked and amazed. I was shocked and amazed because it's very rare for a female ranger and Power Rangers to do that. And it's about time that starts to happen. I mean, they're superheroes, they're strong, they're powerful. So why haven't they done that before? And it's because the writers haven't made them do it. And like I said, this is rare. Like, this is how rare it is, okay? In season 3 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, after I think time reversed itself by a magical glowing rock that Zed put down, and the Rangers destroyed it. No, not destroyed it. They I don't know, something happened. The Rangers came back from something. Maybe they came back from outer space when they met the Masked Rider. But anyway, they came back from somewhere. And Goldar's down there, some Tanga down there. So the Rangers finally got their powers back, and they started fighting. And then I saw something interesting. Tommy the White Ranger was fighting Goldar, like always, because he's the leader. But then I saw Aisha fight Goldar too. This is when Adam, Rocky, and Aisha for the first time used their weapons. That was something that never happened before. And they finally got to use them. And I'm just like, is Aisha the girl beating up on Goldar? I'm just like, cool, man. I've never seen that before in Power Rangers. Then, of course, I'll get into her a little bit later. Then there's Maya. And the Lolax episode, which is my favorite episode, she decides, she's a female and she's tough. And, her and I think it was somebody, she was fighting probably Damon, something like that, or Leo. They're sparring and everything, talking about how tough she is. Then Lolax comes in, and so she fights him and everything. And of course, this is the Sentai footage, and in the Sentai footage, the Yellow Ranger was actually a dude. So, yeah, that's one reason why that storyline happened. But it was cooler, when we got to see her do it, because she's a female and stuff. So when she's hurt and he's in the cave, because Deviant came in and acted stupid. He told me, oh, that's dishonorable and everything. So anyway, they're in the cave. She's hurt. He helps her, but then he's all like, I need this one last glorious battle before I retire and everything. She's all like, and so she fights him and everything by herself, and it was cool, man. It was cool. And then of course they had to destroy him at the end, and they're at the beach scene, and she's holding his like mango sword, and she sticks it in the sand, and they walk off into the sunset at the beach, and it was like a beautiful scene. That's one of my favorite episodes and stuff. And then of course there's Jen, who was basically like the leader of the Time Force Rangers when she went after Rancic and stuff. And cause she was just tough. But Amelia is not on Jen's level. And the fact that Amelia did that, boy, talk about a boss mode level. And that's woman empowerment done right and everything. And she did it without her powers. But the big MVP was Izzy. They see the machine is still like intact. So Izzy with her sword, she's running like a linebacker, doing all the henchmen, just like slashing and gashing them as she's just running through them like Xeno would and stuff. And then she jumps high in the air and she just goes nuts on the machine with her sword and just hacks it up. And then I'm just like, man, that was awesome. And then she tells Ion to get the final blow with his blaster and everything. So he fires and blows up the machine for good. And then it's a huge explosion, and Void Knight's nowhere to be seen, neither is his girlfriend. And I have to say, this was what Power Rangers should be about. Teamwork. Like, I do love it when the Red Ranger takes the lead and whoop on somebody and then blows them up at the finale and stuff like that, like Leo did in the Lost Galaxy thing. But Power Rangers is supposed to be a team effort, like a team doing this stuff. And the fact that they was doing that was like just awesome, man. It's just like, this is what Power Rangers is supposed to be about. And I'm surprised they didn't let the Red Ranger shine. You know what I'm saying? And they let the other team members shine. And, well, except for Javier. He just got to say something stupid, get kidnapped. He had some cool fight scenes here and there, but that's about it. Oh, dude. Now, there's something else that pissed me off in this episode. That was childish level. Remember after all the cool stuff with like the unmorphed fight and everything, and how awesome was that, and Izzy and Ion blew up the machine and stuff? That was such a great boss level like fight. And then they ruined the entire thing when I heard a boomerang sounding noise. I'm just like, what is that? It's Void Knight's sword stuck in the ground. It's near like Izzy and stuff. It was like that. And I'm just like, it was like cartoon sounding noise. And I'm just like, oh, see, they did that for the kids. They did that for the kids. I'm just like, oh, this is what I'm hating about this whole Nickelodeon crap, man. I can't wait till it's on Netflix. I'm hoping Hasbro will up the scale a little bit more when it's on Netflix and stuff. Because ever since it, like, that was just a childish moment. Like, it was just, that was a Neo Saban true moment right there. And like I said before, he is still the executive producer on Power Rangers. And I explained this in one of my other videos about something completely different. A video that's actually not for kids. I literally explained what a show creator, a executive producer, and what a producer is. And your show creator, you know, they don't, of course, they're the ones who create the show, and they have a lot to say what goes on in the show. They are literally the showrunner. But an executive producer, oh, they like to put their 2 cents in. Because not only are they putting money in, but they get to have a say. Whereas the producer just like giving people money and stuff. And the executive producer, they love throwing their weight around. And we know Hans Saban loves to throw his weight around when it comes to Power Rangers and make it kid friendly and everything. And I could not believe they incorporated that noise. Why? That was just so ridiculous. And this is why people make fun of Power Rangers and call it a kids show. Oh. So, you know, the mom comes in and she's talking about how like the Power Rangers and stuff like that, and the lizard lady comes in, and then all of a sudden the green morphing master comes in, the same one who revived Ion, and I think stuck him in that prism or the Nexus thing, and talking about how he's important to help defeat Lord Zed and stuff. And so like she tells them straight up, you know, y'all mission is not done yet. So she restores the Dino statue with their powers in and stuff. And I gotta say, they should have left that for the next season. They should have left it at the end with the Power Rangers not having their powers no more. And them thinking, oh, I guess our mission is done. Only to find out, oh, wait, it's not done in the next season. That's better suspense. Instead of, like, giving us something like the icing on the cake, like, why do that? Like, suspense, man, suspense. Like, you need suspense for the next season. But we got a little bit of that at the end. So they morph and everything in the woods. And then we see something. It's Void Knight's like lair. And none of his hench people are there. I don't know where Mucus is at, but she's gone. I love Mucus. And that sounds so weird saying that. I never thought I would say that phrase. But I love Mucus. Anyway. We see the tank with the girlfriend in there. It's cracked because the morphing grid energy cracked it and stuff with the explosion. I have a good feeling she's gonna get revived in the next season. And I got a feeling she might be the villain. Because we don't know nothing about her. What if she's evil? You know what I'm saying? What if somehow power corrupted her somehow, like dark energy or something? And if not her, it might be Lord Zed. Like, he's still around. And the Gold Ranger is supposed to be the one to help to defeat him. So that has to be huge for a reason. And they need a villain for next season. So it might just be him. Also, we see Void Knight's helmet cracked and everything. Because he's human, a human alien and stuff. And so I'm thinking to myself, now, okay. Because I'm not really familiar with all this season, I decided to go on Wicca fandom and see what the Sentai stuff is. I had a feeling Void Knight is gonna turn over a new leaf and turn good at some point in time. Because think about it, he is literally a Power Ranger. He's like the Purple Ranger and stuff. And because he's kind of like what's his name? What's his name? What's his name from Mystic Force? I had it just a couple hours ago. Something, something, something. And then I forget his name. But the purple dude, the purple knight dude from Mystic Knight, you know, he was evil. Korag, that's it, Korag. He was evil. You know what I'm saying? And then when he turned good, he had the same exact outfit, but it was red now. And so, of course, Void Knight's gonna stay purple because they need a Purple Ranger. And so he'll be the third, actually. And so we all know he's gonna turn good at some point. I mean, he's a literal Power Ranger costume, but he's more the upgraded like Knight form of it. Kind of like Solaris Knight, you know what I'm saying? He still looked like a Power Ranger, but he was more like a Night mode type thing. So he's gonna turn good at some point. We know that's gonna happen. But then I saw a picture of another Ranger, a Brown Ranger. We ain't never had Brown before. So question is, are they gonna bring him in season 2? And if so, who's gonna like play him and stuff? You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, they're gonna have like a 7th member on the team and stuff. No, an 8th member. Because the gold dude's here now. So yeah, so that's gonna be interesting. I love additional Rangers. They're fun. As long as they're given something to do. That what pissed me off in Dino Charge. They had like 14 Rangers, and you only saw like 7 or 8 of them do something, and that's it. Because the other ones just went off on their own little journey thing. So yeah, all in all, this was a really good episode. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.